comic books coming out left and right, so it's never too early to start putting together that pull list for next week. Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, I'm your host Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you the top 10 most anticipated comic books for the week of November 20th, 2019. That's right guys, it's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully my list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy for that week. That's right guys, so at any time, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss content from me pretty much almost on a daily basis. So, fans, let's kick off this week's most anticipated with the book that is on the fence. That's right, fans. This is the book where I'm kind of 50-50 about maybe still buying or thinking about trying the series. In this week's book, that goes on the hot seat, unfortunately, is Excalibur issue 2. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to pick up this second issue. My gut is telling me, you know what, Mike, you can't make a decisive, you can't be so decisive off of only one issue. But sometimes, when I get a gut feeling about a comic book that I'm not going to like, it usually is true. So, in this one, it goes to Excalibur issue 2. That's right, guys. When it comes to Excalibur, this one just did not hit me. I felt this one was kind of a stretch. I did not care what happened to Rogue. I didn't care if she was in a coma. I didn't care about Morgan Le Fay. And I didn't care about anything that happened in that book. I think it's just mainly the characters. Now, I am a huge Rogue and Gambit fan. But if Rogue is going to be in a freaking coma, then what's the point of actually reading this? So I don't know. I guess it just depends how many books I wind up buying for the rest of the week, and if I'll pick this one up. So we'll see what happens with Excalibur number 2. This could be the first X books I actually drop. All right. So moving forward now, officially kicking off the countdown for this week, we go with our number 10 book, and our number 10 book this week goes to Captain Marvel. This is issue 12. Captain Marvel versus the Avengers, the Last Avenger. So this is the one where she actually, goes evil, I guess, okay? And then she's gonna have to go against the other Avengers. This book is 32 pages. It's $3.99. I actually liked Captain Marvel with the whole star battle and whatnot, but now all of a sudden she's gonna be evil. The cover here looks pretty badass. So we'll see where it goes from here, and obviously, people are probably going to pick it up to see, what this story is all about. So we'll see what happens here, okay? She's gone dark, everybody. All right, so next on the list, we move on to number 9, and the number 9 book is the Batman White Knight Freeze one-shot. That's right, guys. I love The Curse of the White Knight. I love Sean Murphy's artwork. I love his story. I love his Batman universe. So with this one shot that has to deal with Mr. Freeze, I'm just very curious to see how he writes this character with this one shot and whatnot, and the history of him and things like that. We've seen so many stories when it comes to Mr. Freeze and his wife and how he tries to save her. But I really am into this world of The Curse of the White Knight. So we'll see what happens with this one. $5.99. It's a long one, though. It's 56 pages. Alright, so moving on this week to number 8. And this one goes to Batman Superman issue 4. This book has definitely held my attention. I thought I was going to drop it after issue 3, but I had a lot of fun with it. We wound up seeing Superman actually become the Superman who laughs, but it was just all a ploy to try to trick the Batman who laughs. But what happens is we find out that the Batman who laughs infected Commissioner Gordon, and then he releases the bunny armor Batman suit from New 52, and it was all a ploy to get their attention, because then Blue Beetle gets affected with that he becomes the Blue Beetle who laughs. So it's crazy. It's bringing back stuff from the New 52, which in a way it's like, yeah, I didn't like the New 52, but it also in a cool way, it's funny too. It's kind of comical how they can bring that stuff back and still make it look cool. The artwork is really well done in this book, and I'm curious to see who the next couple of people are that are going to be affected and become the next villains who laugh or heroes that laugh. So a lot of fun. 32 pages, $3.99. All right, next we move on to our number 7 book. And my number 7 book this week goes to Once in Future issue 4. This book is great, man. I love how it has that Excalibur feel, and we get to see Grandmother teaming up with Duncan to try to actually stop King Arthur from rising and taking over the earth and whatnot. And it looks like there's going to be more family secrets that are revealed in this particular issue. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous in this series. If you have not read Once in Future, try to get your hands on the first 3 issues. It's a great story. I don't think you'll be disappointed with this one. So, again, guys, 32 pages, $3.99 here. All right, next one, going on to number 6. We have The Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 34, as we get to see Spider-Man 2099 making his way into this book. Now, I feel like this story is a little bit slow for the readers and has a lot to deal with Silver Sable and the Chameleon in here. So it's kind of taking its time telling its story. But at the end of the last issue, we wind up seeing Dr. Doom having this assassination attempt on him. So I have a feeling that Dr. Doom's presence right now in present time has its future for what's in store for Spider-Man 2099. And I think he's the major player here of the 2099 series being released and what's happening to him overall. So I think in the long term, this is going to be a fun story. It's just taking its time and getting to where it needs to get to. So we'll see what happens. This book is 32 pages, $3.99. All right, next, we move on to our number 5. And speaking of 2099, we get the first issue of 2099. This is 2099 Alpha. This is issue 1. So a little bit of description here says, 80 years ago, the Marvel Universe was born. 80 years from now, it will die. The future is in peril. Events of The Amazing Spider-Man have been leading to this for months. Something is happening in 2099 that spans Nueva York and beyond and will shake up the official Marvel future forever. This, folks, is not a drill. 40 pages, $4.99. So like I said, when you look at the cover of this particular book, we get to see that Dr. Doom 2099 is obviously a major player here, and we get to see all the other characters from the 2099 universe. I think this event is going to be a lot of fun, especially if you're looking for an alternate universe that Marvel fans have not had in a long time since the Ultimate Universe. So I think having a 2099 universe, I think, is a lot of fun, and maybe this could be a permanent thing in the future, depending how sales go for Marvel. So we'll see what happens with it. All right, so moving on to number 4 this week. This one goes to Immortal Hulk issue 27. Last issue was a little bit slow, but we're kind of getting the understanding of the new status quo when it comes to the Immortal Hulk, right? We have all these different versions of the Hulk, and this one is like the World Ender Hulk. He wants to basically destroy the human race because the human race is basically destroying itself, and he feels like that's not the right thing. So he's kind of putting a war on humankind, right? And so now there's this other creature that's making his appearance by the name of the Minotaur, and it looks like they're going to go battle here. So the last issue was a huge setup and maybe bored some people, but again, when you look at Al Ewing's writing, it's just setting up things for the whole story arc to come here. So we'll see what happens with it. 32 pages, $3.99. All right, so coming in at number 3 this week goes to Marauders issue 2. And so Marauders issue 1 was cool, as we got introduced to Kitty Pryde. We see Iceman on the team. Who else do we see? We see a little bit of Bishop, and we see, oh my god, Pyro's on there. And so we got to see the whole thing, how Kitty Pryde became, or got into this position to begin with. And it's her job to basically get all these mutants from different countries that are not on board with the X-Men sovereignty, and so to bring them all over to here. So her quest is a hard quest to do, and we get to see what happens there. So it's a good book. The first one was a great introduction. Probably my second favorite out of the X-Men titles right now. My first one was X-Force. Then it had to do with the X-Men main book. I guess, you know, when you count the X-Men main book, I guess maybe this is my third favorite. So Marauders would be number 3. So I loved X-Force, then X-Men, and then Marauders. So that's how you have it. That's number 3. Let's move on to number 2. And number 2 goes to the conclusion. Finally, it's been going on for a very long time, of Absolute Carnage. This is issue 5, 40-page comic, $4.99. Venom and Carnage to the death. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? Is Dylan gonna take over his father's legacy? Is Carnage gonna be dead forever? Is Null going to be the symbiote god once again and rage over all the world? What's gonna happen? That's all I want to know. We could have ended this a while ago, but we decided to drag it on a little bit too far. There was a little bit too many tie-ins, but it's finally here, the climactic conclusion to this series. Let's see what happens. Alright, and last but not least, when one Marvel event ends, another one begins. And we have Annihilation Scourge, issue 1. When I was going through comics, this wasn't really high on a lot of people's lists when I looked at overall polls. And maybe people are not realizing this comes out this week, but Annihilation was a huge cosmic event for Marvel in like 2008, maybe 2007, around that time frame. And so now we have Annihilation Scourge. This is issue 1. And so something is stirring in a negative zone. Something that the Marvel Universe isn't ready for. Will Nova be able to assemble a team powerful enough to tackle this? So if you're a cosmic fan, I think you're going to love this. If you're an Annihilation fan, I think you're going to love this. Like, if you got Silver Surfer, Nova hasn't been in a meaningful story in a very long time, okay? And then, you know, who else you got? Maybe Beta Ray Bill in here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of characters that we haven't seen for a very long time, and they're all going to be in their own book in this event. And I think this just sets up things to come when it comes to the cosmic universe, and I think this one could be a lot of fun. So don't forget to pick this one up, guys. This one is my most highly anticipated. Now, in the comment section below, I want to hear what your guys' most anticipated comic of the week is, or maybe your top 5, your top 3, or your top 10. So guys, as always, thank you so much for your support on watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's greatly appreciated. So please, guys, give that video a thumbs up. It takes the video very, very far away. And guys, until that next comic book review, whenever that is, or next video, whenever that is, guys, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. I'll see you real soon, everyone. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.